And I think that the dangerous, edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. And it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
Yeah, if you look at the issues, Yamiche is right. He's doing exactly what he's.
That is our job.
That is our job.
God,
Yeah.
evil.
That's still
Evil.
like I mean, when I was a kid, if some journalist said that would be the biggest story ever. Like that's our job. Yeah.
But all the fluoride and the aluminum cans that we drink out of and the aluminum in our deodorant and the stuff they're spraying in the air and our kids, I had a thought. I was talking with a really good friend of mine and he said, the zombie apocalypse they all talk about, it's here.
Yeah.
And he said, it's these kids that are.
There's also the toxoplasmosis.
Sounds like this. I don't know what that is.
It's something that came out. It's like a zombie thing.
No, they can't even talk to you because they're like this.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Or no, they're like this. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And we all walk around like this.
We all do, though. We all do.
That's the zombie apocalypse.
If you don't think that it's not an addiction, just leave your phone and go to the store.
Home. Yep. I
And
promise you.
You feel
Anxiety.
You feel anxiety.
Mhm.
You do. Just like if I'm in here, like I left my phone in my room, I'm like nervous. Like why? I was talking to Keith yesterday, and he was thinking about like getting rid of everything. No screens, no pads, no TV, nothing in the house. And I was like, dude, they're tools. Just like guns, man. They're tools. It's how you use it. I said, but we used to have much more self-control. I said, I can remember going over a friend's house and having dinner and like everyone when I grew up, like the TV was off, you ate dinner, nobody, that's what you were focused on. But I had friends who, like, if the phone rang, they wouldn't answer it. Their parents were like, no, it's dinner time. We don't answer the phone. Like, it could be important. Well, if it's important, it's important enough for them to call back after dinner. And
so there's this huge lawsuit that just came out against Epic Games, which Fortnite is the big game that all the little kids play. I don't know how many adults, but my son, and there was actually this lawsuit, $520 million. It actually exposed young players to potential harm. They captured children's information without disclosing to their parents. And so there's a big lawsuit now, and there's settlements and all this. But so with what you're saying, along the lines of what you're saying, and there were also lawsuits where children were like not eating and not sleeping because they were waiting till the next Fortnite thing came out and whatever, which, I mean, I kind of think that's
which I never understood, because it's not like my nephew Tony, that died. His son that's all he cares about is Fortnite. That's it for forever. And it's like, what do you want for your birthday? $49. But he would steal your money. Sweet, nice, wouldn't do anything else, but he would rob to get Fortnite bucks.
So back to the zombie apocalypse, along with this, if we know that, so we've had video games pretty heavily exposed to our children for 20 years plus. And now we can see, what if they come out and say it's shown, just like alcohol or drugs, on a developing mind, young children should not have screen time or video games or whatever. Like, you can have it used with, rationing yourself as an adult this is an adult thing. You can use technology for work, or, it's a tool you use for good or evil, but also it should not be, but young minds, while they're developing, just like with drugs or alcohol, should not be exposed to it, because you can see that it does brain damage.
It's an interesting point, Lisa, because when it comes to games and screens and social media and all that, it was all kind of a whirlwind. It's not like other technologies where it took a long time, and people were exposed to it slowly, and it was questioned at every like my favorite memes, which is not really a meme, but it is this picture of when they're trying to bring electricity to cities, and the gaslight people were talking about how it's evil and it'll kill everybody. And like it's this picture of a spider that's a light bulb, and all the wires are its legs, and it's killing everybody. There's like some dead kid in the street, and it's like this horrific picture. But it was like electricity, the killer. Don't let it into your city, And so, but technology has always been kind of fought against. So it's a slow process. But with kids, it was like kind of like the jab. We don't know the long-term effects because it was all just boom, here it is, and everyone's like, yeah, and they just grab it. So that might be true.
We've had like a generation grow up with screen time, and we can look back and see
we didn't have that slow time where we also learned how to limit it, how to control it.
Right.
It was just so now it controls
just so
us.
accessible.
And it does. We're like, I think we're much more awake than most people. I think we're much more aware than most people, and we know that we're addicted to it. We can go leave the phone in the other room, come out, and we know, oh, I shouldn't have this anxiety. It's wrong that I feel this way, and then you go get the phone.
But I still have it. Yeah.
So it's it's odd. I had a question in the chat about if I think Apollo is a scam. I don't think Apollo is a scam currency. I think it's
Apollo currency. I've never heard of it.
I think the market sucks. I think Apollo always tries to do something really big. The stuff with GSX, with actual asset-backed gold and minerals, they have the mines that they bought in Africa. I think it's all really, really smart, but I always think they try to do something really, really huge. I think they are focused more on Africa with that, which you should check into it and look at what they're actually doing in in African nations, and they're building it from there for real. So I do like that. I should talk a little bit more about it, which I might. All right. Oh, I wanted to play this video, so I'm sending it to you.
Oh,
send me something.
But this is your show.
Yeah,
so you would be able to play it.
Yeah, but then I can't get the sound.
The sound won't do right? Okay.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to do that.
Okay, that's okay. Cool.
You're smarter than I am.
No, we're
just the first I'll tell you when to turn it off. I'll go ahead.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Present share screen. Arrested for social media posts.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right, play it there.
Last year, 400 people were arrested for things that they said on social media.
Here, bring back, rewind it there so you can hear it.
Very different. In Russia last year, 400 people were arrested for things that they said on social media. 400 people in Russia. Obviously, this country is very different. How many people do you think were arrested in Britain for things they said on social media last year?
Go on.
Take a guess.
None.
I have no idea.
3,300.
Oh.
Really? Arrested for what they'd said on social media? Yeah. Really? What sort of things get you arrested?
Well, one example I give in my show is there was a young woman from Liverpool called Chelsea Russell. People can look this up. Her friend was killed in a car crash, 19-year-old woman. And she posted the lyrics of his favorite song on her Instagram, the lyrics. And there was a rap song, so the lyrics contained several instances of the N-word. Okay? She was arrested, prosecuted, found guilty, given 500 hours of community service and a fine, tagged, And for a year, she was under 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. curfew.
Oh, goodness.
In Britain.
In Britain.
In 2018.
So we
That's
talked about
insane.
the Chinese system of social credit.
Right.
And describe it as the creation of, or the emerging of a digital prison. But we're doing it to ourselves voluntarily in the West, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So we'll cancel people socially if they say the wrong thing on social media. But you're telling me now that 3,500 people were visited by the police.
No, far more of a visited by the police. Far more. There are cases just half a year ago, and I defended Jo Brand, a British comedian, over this. She made some comments, which, you know, it wasn't a great joke, but she talked about this during this milkshaking episodes where people were having milkshakes done to them. She said that, well, if I was doing it, I'd throw some acid over them. Right? That's not a great joke. But she got a visit from the police on the basis that she was, quote, inciting violence. Wow. And they eventually decided not to proceed with prosecution. But it was obviously a joke. She's a comedian. She was on a comedy program.
There you go.
Very clear.
Wow.
And
so this goes in line with today. I watched on National Archives. They released the video of they were doing a ceremony of swearing in new citizens and celebrating the Bill of Rights, and they were in the rotunda, and you know, Trump's talking about doing this whole digital Bill of Rights. And I know I sent that to you. Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me see if I can pull that.
Merry Christmas. Merry
Christmas, everybody. Share this tab instead. Here's the digital Bill of Rights. I don't know if you read over that, but it says, number one, the video evidence of a crime is not admissible in court unless both the prosecution and the defense agree that it shows what happened.
There's another video that I want to show you. I need to find it. It's
okay.
Oh, it's so wow.
Is it in line with all this?
It is. It is in line with stuff we've been talking about. You know who Trevor Noah is, right?
The name sounds familiar, but I can't remember. Trevor Noah. That's not a gun kid, huh? A 2A? No.
Very, very far from that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know that.
No. Let me find it.
I don't remember. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Let me see. Oh, keep going, talking.
Anyway, it just made me think, was that ceremony actually bringing in our digital Bill of Rights when they were talking about all that, because it was very ceremonial, and it was happening on the 15th of December, I think. No. Maybe it was Friday, 17th, 16th. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look what day. They posted it today, but it wasn't live today. They just were posting the video today. So.
This is not. Man, I know I was going to be able to find it.
I don't know who that guy is.
He was the Daily Show.
Oh. I probably don't even want to watch it then.
Oh, you do. You do. It is very, it's eye-opening. Is this it? No. Do you remember I sent you that one thing? It was about the Merchant of Death.
Yes.
That guy.
Trevor Noah was talking about the Merchant of Death?
No, the one I sent you for that guy who posted that video.
I didn't know.
So Trevor Noah is getting kicked off of the Daily Show.
No, well, that's a good thing.
But I
Actually,
think
I
the
don't
reason
care.
for that is it this? No, it is this guy. Okay. It's the Black Conservative View. Here you could show. I'm not gay, but if I was, Kevin Sorbo.
I don't think it's anybody's business.
Give it. Everyone always teases me.
Unless you hit on them.
Like,
It's none
why
of their
does that guy have a crush on Dad or Hercules? Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, I do think I just sent you. You can play that video while I'm looking for this.
Wait. Oh, it won't let me pause it. There it is. Okay. I'll probably have to, let me see. Because it's like a, okay, there.
Oh, I have to add it to the screen. Sorry.
Energy independence. Man, gas would
There
be
you
a
go. You can rewind it.
by the way, if he was president.
Oh, okay.
I think that everyone is going to have to take.
Listen to this.
No president has been attacked more than he was every single day. And what did he do? He made us energy independent. He made gas would be $1.80 a gallon right now, by the way, if he was president. There would be maybe 1 million people, if 1 million people across the border over the last 2 years, not 4 million. I think it would be less than that. I think his 4 years, it was 1.5 million or something like that. We'd have the wall. The wall would be done by now. We wouldn't have the inflation we have going on right now. We wouldn't have all these countries laughing at us. We're laughing. You can hate Trump all you want, but you got to give the guy credit for what he did. Lowest black unemployment ever, lowest Hispanic unemployment ever, and those are bad things. Every liberal that says I hate him, but what do you hate about him? Well, he's arrogant. Yeah, like Obama wasn't arrogant. No president's ever arrogant. But I said, what policies did you hate? And they can't even think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this.
I agree.
No president.
I think that everyone is going to have to take a hard.
Listen to this.
I agree.
No president has been attacked.
So the thing, okay, so what I had found is why he's being kicked off. And this guy, I thought it was him that posted it. But what happened is he spoke the truth, basically. He said it was when Biden was asking for money from Saudi Arabia to produce more oil and give it to us, and they ignored him. And then he said, you know what? They would have never done that to Trump. He said they would never have done that to Trump. And he started calling out Biden for some of the things that he was doing. And then he was the speaker at the press White House press dinner. And he said, you know, Joe, things are really looking up since you've become president. Gas is up, food prices are up.
Oh,
Which it was like everyone was laughing, but that and then like a few other things that he had talked about, which are just truth.
mm-hmm.
And the one thing was it was like a very emotional. He was like, you know, our country is going down the drain,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was like, look what we did, is what he was coming across as saying, and I think that's why he's getting kicked off. But he is one of the most liberal, crazy leftist people there is. And to watch that video and hear him saying those things was like, wow.
There's hope.
That is like such a big deal. Like Bill Maher.
Right?
Bill Maher said, well, it was like, it was rough. He was like, you gays doing this. And I was like, did Bill Maher just say that? So yeah, things are definitely changing.
Well, there's hope. I mean, it all comes to the point of pain. People do stuff when it gets painful. That's why, we did a lot of work, inner city ministry stuff with years ago when my kids were little, and I was really involved in the church, and I educated myself on poverty and addiction and all that, because I kept trying to help people and doing things that I thought made sense, and it never worked. It didn't help. And there's a great book. I can't remember the guy's name that wrote it, but it's called When Helping Hurts. And basically, like, you're trying to fix them or make them like you, or have the same set of values that you do, when they don't value those things. So you're motivating someone with something or to do something to be in your situation. And so America as a whole does have a collective, um, hive mind or whatever. And we will reach that point of pain where we'll be like, okay, I'm tired of sleeping outside under the bridge. I'm going to go to the shelter tonight. But until we reach whatever that point of pain for America is, like, it's continued to get ugly. Like, I really thought it would stop when they went after our children, but we masked them up and let them do whatever they want with our kids. And, it just kept going. And now we're seeing our dollars be destroyed. And we're continually having, like we were talking just a second ago about, we can't even fund our own government. It's going week to week that they're voting with the government.
That's the thing. I think people are starting to see
and meanwhile, we're sending millions and millions and billions
we can fund a war against
Ukraine.
the greatest superpower besides us. We can fund a war, and obviously they're winning. A bunch of regular folks, not a super trained military, huge military, regular folks with weapons that we're giving them and paying for, they can kick Russia's ass. We can do that. We can pay for that, but we can't pay. We can pay for it. You can't say we can pay for this and can't pay for that.
Right.
You can't do that.
Look who the dollars, what pockets the dollars end up in ultimately. It's not about.
I found the link. I sent it to you.
Oh, did you? Okay, sure.
Yeah, this is to hear him say these words, and that's why he's being ousted, man. It's like go woke, go broke.
Yeah.
Or the other side, it's like wake up, get fired.
Wow, interesting. Okay, so I'll have to go like this and then come back.
There's no denying that Saudi Arabia isn't playing ball with Joe Biden. And you know what? You can say what you want, but this would have never happened to Donald Trump. Never. No one was ever ignoring Donald Trump's calls. Yeah, because if you ignored Donald Trump's calls, you didn't know how he would respond. Maybe he'd send an angry tweet. Maybe he'd just ban your country from everything. You don't know. That's why I bet in these situations, Biden actually wishes that he could hire Trump to step in as President Wildcard. Just keep everyone on their toes.
I think ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. Gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything. No, it really has been.
The reason the Biden administration gave for building Trump's wall in these sections of Arizona is because they're saying it's dangerous for migrants to cross the river there, right? And so they want to put up a wall to stop the people from crossing. There's no denying that Saudi Arabia isn't playing ball with Joe
Wow.
He's just talking common sense, and it's like, whoa.
And they're like, you're fired.
Yeah, I think I've maybe been on the wrong side here. Yeah, because it's like walls don't work. Oh, this is dangerous for people to cross here. We need to put a wall there. It's like, like I said, people are just starting to use their common sense. It's not even critical thinking. It's just basic common sense. If we can move to critical thinking, then they're completely screwed. Completely screwed. See this right here. This is what we were talking about earlier. Like, boom, you're getting a visit from the cops. There's things that I want to say and things that I believe, and that's what was so important about free speech.
I didn't see
is that we could say what we feel. I think that only violence is going to solve our problems. I think we've let things get so bad to where, especially I think Arizona's a big litmus test to me. I think if Lake can go through all these thousands of hoops that she goes through and something gets turned around,
it's moving. We'll see.
If not, then there's no point. It doesn't work.
There is
the whole system doesn't work, and you can yell at me and say, who was it? It was Seth, Family Guy Seth. He MacFarlane. He posted this picture of 1,000 people over here that said we don't vote because it doesn't matter, and then there's 200 people that said we voted. So it's whoever made this gets it, but it's not real if the system doesn't work. if you have sold out, packed rallies and supporters everywhere you turn, and you're kicking, forget the polls. Don't even want to bring up the polls, but if you're kicking butt in the polls, but just real things you can see, sold out stuff, your social media presence is 10, 20 times what your opponent is. And then to lose to that person, that doesn't make statistical sense. And when you start using real words like statistical sense, statistical improbability, not a stolen election, you don't use those words. Just say this doesn't make sense. And that's what they've turned last year on the 6th, what they've turned that into. They use this word insurrection. And if you remember back that far, it was like, hey, this doesn't make sense. These things don't add up. We should look at this. And everyone's like, no, you can't look at it.
No, because I had friends there, and I'm watching TV, and from what you're seeing on the TV and hearing, it's like a terrifying. And I was so scared for my friends, and I was like calling them. I'm like, be careful, this. And he's like, what are you talking about? There's like women with their babies out here singing Bible songs and stuff.
But the whole reason for it, we're just like, hey, this is weird. We just want to look. Hold on, let's take a look at this. Yeah. And that's what the whole other side. No, we can't look at it. And that's the first thing.
When enough people stand up, we were seeing, I mean, you and I have been showing the number of people out in the streets in Brazil when the same thing happened in their country, and they said no, and they went to their military and said, we need your help. This isn't right.
You
and
don't
now
have to go to your military.
So show the link that I just shared, because
if you have
turned around in Brazil.
If you have a Second Amendment, you don't need to go to the military.
Okay. See, in Brazil, they didn't have a way to do this themselves. So the people could do what they needed to in this situation. But there's the screen that I just shared.
Brazilian military began
doing the thing to the officials, as Bolsonaro's declared the real president.
Mm-hmm.
They take care of business.
And you see, I think that should be used more. I think like Joe Rotes said he thinks that we should stigmatize, like if you work for the FBI. Ugh. Okay, it's like, I do porn.
Yeah,
or I run
like
a porn website.
Disgusting.
It's legal, but okay.
Yeah,
son, you're not allowed to play over there anymore. That kind of thing. I think when it comes to political corruption, death penalty. You should have death penalty, even if you're local. Like if it's a certain amount of money or it affects a certain number of people. I mean, if you're a mayor and you steal 20 grand from a county or a city nursing home, and someone was hurt because of that, hang them. I think political corruption and anything on a federal level. I think when you've got
because you've broken the trust of the people,
exactly.
The reason you're in office
with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
When that slick lobbyist comes in there with his shiny money or car or whatever, you got to weigh it against, I could die. No, right. Thank you. And also, you're not going to get people going into politics for the same reason.
Yeah.
People aren't going to go into politics if that's the way it is.
Right. If there was the accountability. Exactly. Yeah. If it was, okay, you get to go into politics because you really want to change the world and make it a better place. But because of that, during that time, you have to have, and that goes back to the digital Bill of Rights. In that digital Bill of Rights, there was a cooling off period for 7 years or something like that.
If 50 years ago, it would have come out that a priest did something to a kid and the Catholic Church destroyed them or turned them over to the police in that country, I guarantee it wouldn't have gotten so bad, But when you create a safe space for that kind of stuff to go on, which literally, that's the thing. It's so broken, dude. Everything. Oh my God, there's another video of, and it's really weird because Tucker Carlson says fuck. I don't want to look it up. I keep looking up videos, but Tucker Carlson is talking about how he had a private conversation with someone who's on the intelligence committee, and he's like, "Okay, I'll text you." Like, don't text me. They watch my text, and he was like, "What?" He goes, "You're their boss. You're their oversight committee. You're in charge of them." He goes, "Yeah." They look at my text. They go through all my stuff. I don't want. No, you can't do it. Just call me, or we'll talk later. And that's his friend. That's a congressman. That's up high.
Wow.
They're it's so broken. There's no other. Okay, if you can answer me with any kind of common sense, why someone, a congressman who's caught having sex with a Chinese agent, is still allowed to be on the intelligence committee?
It's insane to me.
Just any other reason besides the fact that the intelligence community owns him. What other reason is there for him to be on that committee? Can you just, any reason, anything? I can't think of any reason why, any common sense reason.
No, I think it's completely insane. But that's where, like, once again, all of these things are out in the public.
See, Warrior, that was a real thing. And you know what? I learned that in school. We learned that in school, that was for politicians. Tar and feather. They would dip them into hot tar. And I remember asking, well, wouldn't that kill someone? It's boiling tar. And the teacher was like, oh, yeah, in a lot of cases they died. It was boiling tar. That was a real thing. That was a consequence.
So it was like a suffering, or at risk of pain and great shame.
It was at least
torturous death.
But dude, you would be hurt. I mean, it was tar. It was hot tar. But that was a legitimate thing. It was tar and feather.
Wow.
Yeah, that is defund the federal government.
Interesting.
All right, fine. I'm going to look.
Oh, yay. Did you get, I think got the Whitney Webb books too. Oh no, Jim's talking about it and IAM's agreeing with him. Yes. And there's a volume 3 coming out soon, which I think will have more of the Epstein stuff. I'm still not done with all of them, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get it to him over the holiday week. Speaking of Christmas, I want to show you. So I got a present for myself this Christmas because I wanted to get into doing some artwork things. So anyways, that's a very long story, and that's about me. So I haven't mailed this to you yet, but I made this, and it's the first hat I made, and so it's not that great. It's not very straight. It's not perfect, but it's like when a little kid brings you their homemade project. Okay. And so it's not perfect, but I made it for you.
That is cool.
And it's gray, and then it has sparkle on the pretty part. It's white sparkle.
I love it.
Okay, so that's the hat for you since you're the pretty one.
Okay. Well, I saw this, and it was in rose gold. It was
I love rose gold. That's my favorite.
And then I thought, oh man, I got to get that. And I just got it in today, and it.
I think did you go mute? You're muted. What? You're muted.
I think they sent the stainless steel one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
It's beautiful.
Yes, it's really nice. It's very neat.
Oh my gosh, Sean.
Yeah.
Wow.
It holds 4 rounds here. It's got a adjustable
it's so pretty.
here. It's really cool. It's got a rail on top and on the bottom. You can put a light.
Wow.
It's really cool.
That's beautiful. My God, you're so generous. That is over the top.
Yes, I thought you would like it.
Thank you.
And it's supposed to. It does look rose gold if you can kind of see this one.
Okay.
It is a little bit, but I'm going to call him
and make sure they sent the right one.
Yeah, sent the right one.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. Wow.
And it's supposed to come with just a so you can have it without the stock in the back.
Does it have
I got myself one, so we have matching.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so then when I come to Austin, I'll bring it, and we can get a picture together, and we'll go shooting.
Yes, this would be fun.
Oh my gosh, I will love it. Did you get a rose gold one too?
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you.
So I have to get it sent to you, which
that's awesome.
A thing. And then you
Do you need my gun club?
Your FFL? Yeah, I'll get that from you, and they'll send it there.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'll probably be after Christmas, but
that's okay. Mine will probably be after Christmas as well. Although you were way too too much money on me.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's very cool. My goodness. You're amazing. Thank you, sweet friend.
I'm glad you like it.
That makes my heart feel good. Yeah.
I knew you would like it.
I love it.
Here we go. I found it. Here we go. You can play this one now.
Okay.
Tulsi's the one that posted it.
Okay. I don't see it yet.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, your girlfriend.
Yes. I wish. Hope I don't get arrested for that.
For risk.
Maybe that on social media. No.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm not sharing yet. And
You gotta stop sharing the.
I know it starts playing really fast, and then it's not yet. NSA was reading Tucker Carlson's text messages. Okay.
I think this is the one, but okay.
Is this it?
I guess I don't know. We'll see.
It says that NSA was reading Tucker Carlson's. Okay.
To be performing an essential service to the country. Of, like the CIA, for example, gathering intelligence and helping our leaders make the best informed decisions.
That's right. No, that's not it.
That's not it.
The NSA was reading his stuff, though. I don't know if you knew about that.
Well, they read all of our stuff.
They were going through his stuff. They said something about one of his emails. He's like, "How do you know my email?" They were like, "What?" Here, I sent you the link to the right one.
Okay.
Congress, who are controlled by the intel agencies. I'm not speculating on this. I lived there for 35 years. I know this. I had a very high-ranking member of the House Intel Committee tell me at dinner at a restaurant in Washington when he'd been drinking, we got to talk about this. And I said, I'll text you. He goes, I can't text. And I said, why is that? And he goes, well, because NSA reads my text. And I said, NSA reads it. Wait, you're the head guy on the intelligence committee. You're their boss. You're providing oversight in our constitutional system. He's like, yeah, but they're still spying at me. First thing. Second thing, Michael McCall, who is, the leader of, I would say, the neocons in the House, kind of low-key neocons, but neocons. I got into an argument with him once last year on the phone. He told somebody that I was a Russian agent or something, and I was outraged. So I called him on the phone, and I used bad language. I was really mad, and he said, "Whoa! I just got that. That's what the intel briefers told me, that you were working for Russia." And I said, "That's what the intel briefers told you? You believe your fucking intel brief? How old are you, son? I'm from DC. My dad was in this world. You're being manipulated by your intel briefers. Duh." And he's like, well, they had, all kinds of corroborating evidence. Did you see the evidence that I was a Russian agent? I'm an American. I was born here. I've never lived anywhere else. Pretty patriotic. What an outrageous thing to say. He goes, well, they had, I believe what he tells me I believe what they say. Jeez. And I told him 5 times. I probably shouldn't be repeating this, but I was thinking about it this morning. It was because I just saw that McCall is now sending more money to Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And it's why are you doing that? Well, because you're controlled by the intel agencies. Yep. That's why.
That's why.
That is true. And I'm just absolutely sick of it. I'm sick of it. I believe my intel briefers. Like, and I don't, by the way, I don't think he's dumb enough to believe his intel briefers. I don't think any of these people think they're not being manipulated. They know they're being manipulated.
They're part of it.
And there are pressure points that can be applied on people. I mean, let's just be totally honest. I'm not, accusing anyone of anything specifically, but if you have a drinking problem or you're not, you have a complicated personal life, and a lot of people do, particularly in DC, you're vulnerable. And that's just true. And I'm sure if this, I assume this is going to be public, people, oh, you're a conspiracy. No, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm from there. And I know how this works. I spent, again, my whole life around it. So that's real. I'm not accusing them of killing Kennedy. I'm just telling you there are members of Congress who were controlled by the intel agencies. And that's a fact. And I just think that that's completely incompatible with a free society or with a democracy. And I don't know why nobody ever says it.
Wow.
That's just the common sense just coming out,
Yeah.
He is making the point that the way our framers set it up is awesome, but it has to be the way they set it up. You can't, and I can tell you the minute it changed. I can tell you the second it all went bad. It was on a debate. It was old Bush and Clinton. And old Bush said, hey, your character's a piece of shit. You've done this, you did this, and you did this. You can't be trusted. And Clinton looked at the camera and he said, hey, man, it's about the economy, stupid. And I always thought, and everyone thinks, he was calling George Bush stupid, but he was calling you stupid. He was calling me stupid because you fell for it. Because it always was about character. Not everyone can grow up to be president. You had to be better.
Criminal. You
had to be better, or else you could be controlled. And no one ever said that. You always just had to be better because it was the right thing to do. That's not it, dude. You had to be better because you could be controlled. It wasn't to protect you. It wasn't so that you could get the job as the president or the congressman or whatever. It was to protect everyone else. And I never got that. They never told us that growing
So that's like the Trump thing. They're not coming for me. They're coming for you, and I just get in the way.
Well, it's like, when if you're back in college and you're like, hey man, let's go streaking. And your friend's like, oh, I can't, man. I'm going to run for office, man. I'm a political major. And, dude, I can't do that. I can't risk it, dude. Mm-hmm. I can't risk it. And you're like, dude, you're so boring. Who cares? No one's going to care. And like, no, man, I can't, because I want to be a congressman. I want to be president one day. And you always were raised that, oh, that person's just doing it because it's the right thing to do and they got to be a better person. They're not. It's not it, though. If they were just honest. And it's like, no, because if someone knows about that, they can control him down the road. Mm-hmm. Someone has the pictures of the prime minister in blackface. They can control him and make him do things. And when Clinton said that, anyone could be president. Anyone could do whatever. People can't have complicated lives because then they can't have the job. And that's how it used to be. And that's how it had to be because that's what kept things in check. You remember Gary Hart was doing well for the Democrats years and years ago. And a picture came out of him on a boat with a woman in a bathing suit. That's it.
You talked about this earlier. Yeah.
That's it. Nothing, no sex tape, no nothing. Why were you on a boat with a woman in a bikini on this weekend? And they were like, oh, I'm out of the race. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah. That's and Clinton's almost molesting almost barely legal interns. Mm-hmm. No one even talks about that. The fact that she was an intern and barely legal
under his power. Yeah.
Yeah. And under his authority, he was her boss. Mm-hmm. There's so many other things that were wrong, which now with Epstein, everything points, things are much more clear. But that was a whole nother aspect of it that was never even touched on. but like Carlson said, it was those people are controlled because of that. It goes back to what we were talking about, how people had to do so much to be able to have a security clearance. The fact that they still have security clearances, that speaks to the intelligence community. They shouldn't have been issued those clearances. Biden should not have a security clearance just based on Hunter. Nothing else. Nothing else. The fact that he has a crackhead and had a crackhead running around him when he was the vice president and was privy to that can't happen. The way our system is set up, that can't happen.
It should have disqualified him from the position.
That's why people were that's why Roger Clinton, oh my God, it's such a big deal that he's a moron, because he's connected to you and you have your finger on the button. Everything about a politician's life and family had to be completely open and had to be better than me. You have to live better than me. You get all that authority. You get all that power. You get all of that. I can go get drunk and be stupid. I can, do what you can't do it. You can't live that life and you get to live in DC and you get to work for 4 years and then be super rich and have people pay you $100,000 to talk for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it, dude. That's your payday, dude.
And you get paid for the rest of your life. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's not the way it is anymore.
And Secret Service for the rest of your life.
We gave up the way the founders framed it. It has to be this way. You can't have a party system, or else the issues aren't what people talk about or what people focus on. It's just what party wins. So you can't do that. That could destroy everything. Okay, well then I guess we'll start up some parties. It's very very frustrating when you're given basically a blueprint on how to build a perfect house, and you're given all of the all the tools, and you're given all of the materials, and then you just buy one of those mobile homes or why it's all laid out. We had everything, and we even had instructions on what not to do. All we had to do is not do it, and
instead that was the path that was used against us. The tools used against us, for sure. Well, I know we got to make sure everybody gets some food and water and gets ready for this cold snap that we have coming at us this week. But what a perfect time for this to all come out and go down. They're flying Assange back they're flying SBF on Wednesday. Assange is supposed to be here any day now. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if this rolls out over the holiday and we're all home snug in our beds with our families and able to see. I got my big bucket for all the popcorn coming. It's the EBS.
I was supposed to get up at 7:35 in the morning.
Oh, that was the alarm for 7:35 in the morning.
It's gonna go off. Yeah, okay.
I've done that before.
Well, Merry Christmas, y'all.
Thank you so much, Sean. By the way,
glad
you're so generous. I love my Christmas present. Thank you.
Yeah, it has this like compensator on the end, so
okay,
it should have like no recoil whatsoever.
Awesome.
And, yeah, it's very cool. I like it. All right. Yeah, I got my own. Well, I guess I'll probably use this when yours is still in the box.
Okay. Well, when I come down with Johnny in May. March or May. I can't remember what he said now. No, March. I think it is March, because in May I'm going to possibly be able to go to the Bitcoin Miami. But hopefully we get to come down there in March, and then in Austin and do a meetup there. So we'll get the Bixen Amy one somewhere in Arizona, probably at the end of January, beginning of February. maybe in Florida, but most likely in Arizona. We'll
Florida's
see.
a weird state, man. There's like so many extremes. It's like you got Disney and all that kind of stuff, and then you have a lot of wokeness, but then you have overall super
Still
conservative.
got Broward County there, though.
It's,
All its criminality.
That Polk County, that sheriff is like so cool, but
Is he one that's been reading all the trafficking stuff live?
Yeah, that's where Disney is. But he's like, he just goes on there and does like those press conferences are awesome, and then he's very, very matter of factly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's really cool. I like him.
All right, well
thanks everybody for joining us. Make sure to leave a like over here on Sean's and go watch the first half of the show on my channel as well. Make sure you leave comments because Sean does great giveaways on his channel too.
Super broke doing giveaways,
especially isn't buying expensive Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
You
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Crazy generous man. Merry Christmas,
Love
everybody.
y'all.
Love you. Love you, Sean.
Love you too. I gotta find where's the video? Where's the video?
I don't know which one you want to play.
Here we go. This one.